السماء ولكن الله رمى پرتاب موشک خیبرشکن با رمز مقدس یا فاطمه الزهرا یا فاطمه الزهرا یا فاطمه الزهرا الله.
Hello, I'm a retired general. Welcome to my channel. I'm here because what you see on the news tells you what is happening. I'm going to tell you what it means, as someone who has read intelligence assessments and been inside decision-making rooms. One more thing before we begin. This channel uses its revenue to fund student scholarships. If you subscribe, like, and comment, you are directly supporting that mission. Please hit subscribe now and turn on notifications. Now let's get into it. 7 American soldiers are dead. 140 have been wounded. Those are the numbers as of this broadcast. And tonight, there is a credible, documented question that the administration has not answered, and in fact has actively dismissed. Did Russia help Iran find them? The New York Times, the Washington Post, and MSNBC have all reported, independently, that Russian intelligence shared targeting data with Iran, data that was used to direct attacks against American military personnel. These are not tabloid outlets. These are major news organizations with deep national security reporting teams citing multiple intelligence sources. And the administration's response to that reporting was delivered on national television by Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff. He said, "We can take Russia's word for it, because Vladimir Putin told Trump on a phone call that Russia had not been sharing intelligence. So that settles it." I need you to sit with that for a moment. The names: 7 soldiers killed in action, 140 wounded. Let me give you the names of some of those who have been identified, because these are not numbers. These are people. Army IT specialist Declan Cody, 20 years old, a sophomore at Drake University in Iowa. He was never supposed to be near combat. He was an IT guy. He was activated from the reserves and killed at his duty station in Kuwait. Captain Cody Cork, 35 years old, from Winter Haven, Florida. Sergeant First Class Noah Teggins, 42, from Bellevue, Nebraska. Sergeant First Class Nicola Moore, 39 years old, from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Army Major Jeffrey O'Brien, 45, from Waukee, Iowa. These are 5 of the 7 confirmed dead as of this report. Every one of them had families. Every one of them had people who woke up one morning to a doorbell they were dreading and a uniformed officer standing on their porch. And the question that their families deserve to have answered, the question every Gold Star family deserves answered when American soldiers are being targeted and killed, and there is credible reporting that a foreign adversary provided the targeting intelligence. What does this government do about it? What the reporting actually says, let me walk you through what the reporting actually says, because the administration's dismissal of it deserves scrutiny. The New York Times, the Washington Post, and MSNBC each reported separately that Russian intelligence operatives shared information about the location of U.S. military assets with Iranian forces. The sourcing on these reports included multiple intelligence officials speaking on background, meaning people with direct access to classified intelligence who chose to speak to journalists because they were alarmed by what they knew. This is not the same as a rumor or an allegation. This is the kind of sourcing pattern that, in my experience, indicates the information is real, and that people inside the intelligence community are trying to get it into the public record because they believe the public deserves to know. The reporting led to a specific on-camera question to Steve Witkoff, the Trump administration's special envoy. Had Russia shared intelligence about the location of U.S. military assets? The answer Witkoff gave was stunning. He said he was not an intelligence officer and could not say definitively, but he said that on a call with the president the previous day, the Russians said they had not been sharing. That is what they said, Witkoff told the interviewer. So we can take them at their word. Vladimir Putin told Donald Trump he didn't do it. So that settles it. I spent 30 years in uniform. I have sat through intelligence briefings. I have read assessments about adversary intent and behavior. The idea that the appropriate response to reporting that Russia helped kill American soldiers is to call Putin and ask if he did it, and then accept his denial, is not how any of this is supposed to work. What we know and what we don't. I want to be clear about what we know and what we do not know. That is important to me. What we know: 7 American soldiers are dead, 140 are wounded. Multiple major news organizations with strong national security reporting have cited intelligence sources saying Russia shared targeting data with Iran. What we do not know with certainty: the classified intelligence itself. the full chain of custody, for that targeting data. Whether Witkoff was given a complete classified briefing or a selective one. But here is what I know about how these situations work in practice. When a credible allegation surfaces, and this allegation is credible, sourced to multiple intelligence officials across multiple major publications, the correct response is a full classified investigation by the intelligence community, a closed-door briefing to the appropriate congressional oversight committees, and a clear answer, even if that answer is classified. What we got instead was a special envoy going on financial television and saying we can take Vladimir Putin's word for it. There is a pattern here that goes beyond this specific incident. This administration has consistently treated Russian denials as credible. It has extended financial relief to Russian energy interests at exactly the moment when Russia is apparently benefiting from the conflict. The EU's Eurogroup commissioner noted this week publicly that Russia is playing on the same team as Iran and that maintaining pressure on Russian oil revenues was essential to not undermining allied interests. That assessment from a European official, not a partisan American commentator, deserves weight. Russian oil waivers while soldiers die. There is a second dimension to this story that goes beyond the immediate military question. It involves Russian oil revenues. When the Strait of Hormuz was closed, and the price of oil spiked from the mid-80s to over $120 per barrel at its peak, every oil-producing nation in the world benefited, including Russia, especially Russia, whose war economy runs on energy export revenues. The Trump administration, in this same period, provided waivers on Russian oil sanctions. Waivers, meaning American companies and allied partners were permitted to purchase Russian oil in violation of the existing sanction regime. While Russian oil revenues were spiking due to a conflict that Russian intelligence may have helped enable, these facts were specifically raised in the on-camera exchange with Witkoff. He was asked directly, "Do you think the Russians shared intelligence? And if they have, why would we be giving waivers on Russian oil sanctions?" His answer, "I'm not an intel officer so I can't tell you," does not answer the question. The question is not about intelligence methodology. The question is about policy coherence. If your adversary is helping kill your soldiers, why are you simultaneously providing them financial relief? That question deserves a direct answer. It has not received one. What happens next? What happens next matters, and I want to be honest with you about where this goes. The Senate Intelligence Committee, under Senator Warner's leadership, has the constitutional authority and the classified access to investigate this question properly. Whether they will do so with the rigor it requires is a question that depends on political will that, as of this report, is not clearly present. The House has its own oversight mechanisms. The bipartisan resolution from Congressman Khanna and Congressman Massey to limit the president's war-making authority was voted on and failed. 53 senators chose not to stop the war, which is not the same as authorizing it but has the same practical effect. Here is what I know from experience. Accountability for intelligence failures and policy failures in wartime is difficult. It is slow. It is fought by the people whose decisions are being scrutinized. But it is not impossible, and it is not optional if we want to be honest about what happened to those 7 soldiers. Declan Cody was 20 years old. He was a college sophomore. He was an IT specialist who was never supposed to be in danger. He joined the Army Reserves, did his duty, and was killed. His sister said, "I just wish I could have told him I loved him one more time. He was my little brother and he was probably really scared even if he didn't want people to know." His government owes him, and his family, and the families of the 6 others who died, a complete and honest answer to the question of whether a foreign adversary helped put him in the crosshairs. Subscribe, notifications on,